My name is Alfian Sa'at. I'm the resident playwright with Rise, theatre company, and I'm also the playwright of the play Cooling Off Day by Rise. So I think really it was to investigate whether Singaporeans were really politically apathetic, that's one thing, and if they are not, what are the ways in which they talk about politics, yeah? Because I do believe that you do not necessarily need a political vocabulary, to discuss these things. You can find analogies, you can look at anecdotes, you can use storytelling actually to talk about politics, without necessarily going into political theory, without talking about capitalism or democracy and all those things, I don't write these plays in a vacuum. I write them in a society where there is already not a very level playing field, when it comes to certain opinions. So when I have a state media that already gives so much airtime to one side of the debate, then I do feel that this needs to be redressed a certain way. Not to say that artists are by nature we need to be rebellious or anti-establishment, but of course the internet is another great leveler, but I do see that, I'm sorry, but the more interesting viewpoints that I have managed to garner from my process of interviews are in a sense the more pro-opposition ones, because number one, you hear so little of them, number two, that they've been so repressed for so long that actually when you hear them, for me it's refreshing.
Joko Kathas, co-director and actor, Cooling Off Day by Alfian Sa'at. I think for me as a director, I wanted to find the thing that is not just satisfying to an audience in a kind of easy political way. It's not just something. It's not sketch comedy. It's not just to make them feel see, but maybe to find a certain poignancy, find a certain vulnerability in it. So for me, that was a very important part of it. And I think we found that through how the piece was ordered, with So Lang being these very important bookends to the piece, to know that there is a long history. And within this, yes, there have been many schisms and complaints and sadnesses and people saying, but we're doing our best within this. But these two things kind of are politically significant and emotionally significant, because you also see how people's lives were damaged. And how do you then deal with that? You need to get people to understand things not by explaining to them, oh, look how different you all are, but just by allowing those different voices to rise up. For me, this was a very important aspect of the work, the choral nature of it. It's taking people's words, knowing how to edit, to find that voice very strongly. It's a strong poetic voice, but also to have pieces which have different shapes. So a long piece which is very intellectual and heavy, juxtaposed with a light-hearted, a short piece, a fillip, and then put together into a piece which involves more than one voice.
My name's Tan Keng Hua. I'm an actress, and I was in the first production of Cooling Off Day. In real life, I think I am one of those sort of people. I shy away from being either vocal or militant about issues. It's just my own comfort level. But I liked the security of the production, the performance, to explore something that I was interested in. It did have a distinct and strong political, social statement, and because I was aligned to that political, social statement and what Alfian and Ivan and Joko Kathas were trying to put together in a production, made the experience all the more sweeter.